Hi everyone, here's the first video on the van build. So I just want to take a quick walk around, show you the van, talk about the plans I have, what I've done so far, and yeah, that's it, just for a first video. So short wheelbase, ProMaster. Let me step back a little bit. You know, 2019 ProMaster. Really pretty typical white. Looks like something you would pull up and do plumbing at someone's house with or whatever. But it's going to be a camper van, and hopefully looking for kind of a stealth look to this thing. So pretty typical. Looks like the newer ones have this different grill here. This sweet Ram grill, the big Ram in it. I'm not quite sure if I like that. It would be nice to get rid of it, honestly. And these giant oversized novelty badges they got here. Really big, really shiny. I don't really know if I like that. It'd be nice just to take that off, I think. I'm gonna strip it down a little bit. So what I've done so far is I'm just starting off with the floor. What I've done here, if you can take a look, I've just kind of done a pretty shoddy job of putting some enamel down on the floor that was a little scratched up. I think it was a delivery van for a little while before I got it. So I put some primer down with a paintbrush, put some white paint down just to deal with any rust issues. I don't want any rust to build up underneath here. Just another layer of protection, I think. And I went with this Reflectix stuff, insulation. I don't really know if it's going to do much, but it's something, and it's going to act as padding between this OSB here and the metal floor. I don't know. I imagined it kind of squeaking around or something, so I just wanted to have not squeak and give some level of insulation. We'll see what it does. And I'm not really worried about the floor in terms of having to over insulate that. I don't really see that being a huge issue. I'm not going to live in this thing. I'm not going to be camping out in the winter. I really don't see that happening. I'd really like to take it to warmer climates and get away from the winter up here. So I don't see the floor being a big problem. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to insulate the heck out of the floor. And I went with OSB, tongue and groove OSB. There's 6 in the ProMaster. I don't know if anybody's aware of, but there's 6 tie-down points where they had these kind of hooks to tie things down with, and I'm going to use those to hold down the floor. We'll see how that goes. I like the OSB because it has tongue and groove, and it'll kind of all join together and act as one unit. Just transfer across the joint any load, so it won't piano key. And then when I put the floor down, it'll be a little more uniform. So I plan on a pretty high quality, vinyl plank floor. These click and lock stuff, which I'll glue down, and which is waterproof, and I think they'll be very durable. So even if I'm not using it as a camper, just as a utility vehicle, I can move stuff in and out, and it'll be pretty durable for that too. So that's what I've got for the floor so far. I did notice that OSB likes to, if it gets any water on it, it likes to swell up, and it likes to expand when it gets wet. So I'm probably going to be painting the edges here, just to provide some kind of protection against water. The underside of this OSB has some kind of finish, what I think is to prevent water into the OSB. Also, the floor of the van is corrugated. I don't know if you can see here. So it's corrugated, and the OSB is going to sit on top of the corrugation. But so the edge is going to be overhanging a little bit, and I think that's going to get repeated use of people stepping on the corner of this OSB, and it's going to flex over time. So I'm going to rip a piece of wood that matches the thickness of that rib, just to provide some edge support for this OSB. And then so paint it, have some edge support, and then once the floor goes on, I'd like a rubber strip, like like a stair tread rubber, just to protect that edge, or maybe aluminum. We'll see. We'll see what makes sense, what looks good. And that's the only thing I've run into. I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen the edge on other builds, but I haven't seen anyone deal with this overhang issue. I really see that kind of flexing over time. And so what are my plans for this, you know? My goal is to make it pretty minimalist. So I'm not going to stuff it full of cabinetry and wood furniture and all sorts of nonsense, but I'm gonna insulate the walls, do some stretch carpeting around these ribs, I think, like the vertical ribs, the horizontal ribs, and then maybe plywood panels, 1/4-inch plywood, maybe covered with carpet as well, if it's not too much carpet, or come up with something that looks nice. You know, I'm not trying to make it super cute, you know, just usable, comfortable, cozy, warm, well ventilated. I'll put a fan up here, maybe one of those vent fans to suck all the hot air out. And then in the back, around these wheel wells, I'm going to build a couple benches. So benches that go around the wheel wells, with like a flip top, maybe stuff batteries in there, and then have a table in between so people can hang out in here. I mean, I think that'd be cool just to have a fan where people can come in and hang out. It's not just it's not just a storage space for all my junk, a place to sleep, but you could conceivably, you know, have a couple of people hang out in here. You know, maybe put the passenger seat on a swivel, so it could be like more of an open floor plan. Yeah, just a camper van, not a permanent living space. You know, that's my plan. I would like to have decent electricity in here, so I'll put a roof rack on this thing, put some solar panels on the roof, and then put a big. My big thing that I'd like is a nice glass panel in the back over the bed, so we get like a hatch, so you could open it up for ventilation, but also have you could look up at the stars and while you're sleeping. I think that'd be pretty rad. So we'll do that if I can find something. I don't know, maybe like a boat hatch or something, or maybe I'll make my own. Okay, alright, that's it for here. See how that goes. And on the back, I'm gonna get a decent trailer hitch, and you know, like a small motorcycle. You know, something roadworthy, kind of dirt-worthy. You know, that I could you park this thing, you take the bike out, and have some adventures in without having to always drive the van around. I think that'd be pretty cool. So a little carrier for a motorcycle back here. And yeah, I want to keep it visually pretty much the same. I don't even know if I want to put windows in it, but if they're cheap enough, maybe. Because I like the look of this as a kind of like a plumber's van or a contractor's van. Low profile, simple. So I think that's all for today in this video. So thanks a lot, and I will see you next time.